And thank you very much for joining us here on PM Express. This is 2024. It is a major year because of the elections, and it is really about the Electoral Commission. All eyes will be on the Electoral Commission this year. They really hold the democracy of this country in their hands. And the last few days, they've been meeting with the political parties at a very important inter-party advisory committee meeting. The NDC, that have been very critical of the EC, were in attendance. A few issues very pivotal to the successful conduct of the polls this year were up for discussion. We have now seen the communique from the Electoral Commission, and we need to discuss that in detail because this is what sets the tone for December 7. And I have just the person for this conversation here on PM Express. He is the Director of Electoral Services here at the Electoral Commission, Dr. Stribo Kweku. Thank you very much, Doc. Grateful.
Good evening, my brother.
So the communique is out. That IPAC meeting, how successful was it?
I think it was very successful because after the chairperson has done the presentation with the two deputies, all the parties are available, they were so pleased and there were positive comments about the meeting. And I believe all their expectations were met. So for the first time at that meeting, not a single person raised any question or objection to whatever we discussed. So we were happy and everybody was happy.
Let's talk about some of the contentious issues going into that IPAC meeting. And the EC had been championing the removal of the indelible link for this year. That you shelved.
Yes.
Why?
Yes. You see, for us, we are of the view that the work that the indelible ink was supposed to do, you know, the indelible was introduced before the biometric. So if you understand the biometric system, once you are registered, there's no way your name can be in the register for more than once. The one you are going to vote, your QR code is scanned from the register. So it means that your name should be on the register before your QR code will be scanned. So once your QR code is scanned, meaning nobody can use that code again. So once it is scanned, that's where you roll out the biometrics, either your fingerprint or your face. And if the two fail, then we use the, what do you call it, manual verification. The manual verification in the BVD, it will indicate the number of people who were verified through the fingerprint, the number of people who were verified through the facial recognition, and the number of people who were verified through manual verification. So if the fingers or the 10 have failed, then we will resort to the facial recognition. A picture is taken of your face, and it will match with the picture that was taken in the course of registration. The system will do the match and also come and say that it has matched. But if the two fail, that means that you cannot be identified biometrically. Then the process is that then you have to go to the manual. So the officer will complete a form for you, your name, your ID card, whatever. Then the party agents or candidate agents there will also countersign it, that they all know that this is Evans Mensah. But for some reasons, the fingerprints are not working, the face is not working, then you are allowed to vote by the manual verification. Once that is done, it is added to those who were verified. That's what I'm saying. So when you open the BVD, it will give you the three categories. Those who were verified through the finger, those who were verified through the face, and those who were manually verified. I hear some people who are saying that the machine will not recognize that type of work. It is captured. So that when it gives the total, it is the total of facial, fingerprint, and the manual verification. So once that is done, you cannot go and vote again. Again, as I said, because it is biometric, when you vote, you register at one particular place, and you want to go and register at another place. If it is the, what do you call it, the online one, the online one is not general internet issue, but the registration kit is linked to our data center. So when you go to a district and the machines are set up, they are already linked. You put your fingers on, the machine will indicate that your name is already on the register, and it will indicate where you are registered. So if you go to where you actually registered, it will show. If you registered in Accra, you go to Bolga, it will show, because all the network done. But if you are doing offline, meaning that where you are using the BVRK, which is not linked to the data center, that one, it will not indicate it. But you will successfully go to the registration, you get your ID card. But the moment your data is uploaded onto the system, then the system will say
flag
that you have already registered, and it will quarantine you. So what means that once you have done that multiple registration, you are no more eligible voter. So you can't even vote. You get my point. So once you go by the biometric, there's no way you can have your name twice on the register.
But on the voting day, that's where the trick is.
That's the thing. If your name is not on the register, once you have done multiple
But if my name is on the register on the voting day and I vote in polling station A and I pick a plane and I go to Tamale,
good,
and the BVD is not linked yet, I
yes,
can vote
the BVD, but that's why I said that the register is what the system will pick the QR code. So if you have registered once, and it means that wherever you are registered is not, there will be no big QR code for you. You will not have, your name will not be on that register.
That is if you are flagged at the registration stage.
That is when you did the multiple registration. Immediately that one you are off.
Yes.
So that's when you can't vote anywhere at all.
But if you clear that and you go to election day,
in that case, you said that the biometric is not working.
But it's not all the time that the biometric machine, depending on where it is in the
internet. The BVD. No, that's what all the data will be brought onto the data center.
Yeah.
So it's not that when you registered, then your name have been put on the register. Once you registered, the system, whether online or offline, the data will have to.
That is the registration. But I'm talking about voting.
Yes, I'm saying. So the other data will be on the data center. So once it hits the data center, you cannot be more than once on the data center. So the register is printed from the data center.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that once their name is not on the register, you don't have pictures on it. You don't have biometrics over
there. You obviously can vote.
You don't have QR code there because your name is not out there. So how can your data be scanned?
So you can't vote
at all.
Yes, but I'm asking. I mean, somebody like you, if definitely you can vote.
Yes.
But on election day, if you really want to beat the system, you can vote in Accra, and then you catch a flight to Tamale.
So the first in Accra, my name will be on the register.
Yes.
So when I go to Tamale, will my name be on the register? It will not.
So that's why you're saying that it's not possible.
Exactly.
So that's why you believed that the indelible ink was outmoded.
It wasn't.
So you didn't need it anymore.
It wasn't. It was no use.
Yeah.
But we heard the Ghanaians like it, because I heard a big person saying that he will be happy to have the ink. Then he shows the people that have already voted. So it's become more of cosmetics, not the critical reason why it was introduced. So that's why we were thinking that it was no use. But we are commission is a listening commission. Ghanaians want the indelible ink. Whether it is useful or not, they say bring it. It's okay, we'll allow it to go.
So people can get to put their fingers into an indelible ink this year also. And I guess the parties were happy with that at the IPAC meeting.
Exactly so.
And so that was settled. And yeah, we didn't hear any other complaints after that. And then there was also the issue about when this voting was going to happen this year. Again, that has also been settled. Yes. You were not going to hold elections in November.
Yes.
This is still going to be in December.
Exactly. And the last one was the third time we were meeting on it. So the first one, we will inform the meeting of our intention to bring the date from December to November. The house was divided. Everybody agreed to the November one, but the effective date was where the division came.
Yeah.
Some were saying that it could be done in 2024, but some were also saying that it should be done in the next election, that should be 2028. So really that was also a form of no consensus. So let's share that one too.
And again, that means that we're going to vote on December 7th, but instructively you say you begin the legal process now to change the law.
We have already almost completed the structure of the CI. Those things that it has to go to a lot of hands. So now we are going ahead to do the preparation, but we believe that should be passed for the next election, not this election.
So it's very likely that before December 7th, this amendment would have been passed, but it's not taking effect. But the effective date will be 2028.
I'm nonetheless, I don't know how it will be done. But what I'm saying that the structure is being done. So I don't know whether by law it could be passed and still be hanging or not. But normally such things will pass to the Attorney General.
So you're going to send that memo to the Attorney General for the consideration of the Attorney General. So those are the two issues that you wanted to introduce. And let's go back to the reason why you wanted.
Then we also talked about the Guarantor system
Yes.
as part of the registration.
Yes.
Because we were saying that people were abusing the use of the Guarantor system. So we wanted to use only the Ghana card
As a sole document for registration.
Exactly. And that one, it started in 2022.
That was the biggest controversy,
yes,
in fact.
So we wanted to avoid any controversy so that we can have our peaceful elections. So we said that for this year, we are not going to pass any law to be used in 2024. So all the years that we have started doing and the rest, we will not pass them for this year's election.
But on that last point, you've already sent the legislation to Parliament.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's going to happen now to that document?
It was not laid. We were still on the preliminary stages, so it was never laid in Parliament. You know, when we finished, we have met the subsidiary registration team. I met them twice or so to discuss. We met the committee. There's another committee we met before we met the committee of the whole, which is the entirety of the Parliament. So the whole argument was that some were of the view that we have not done enough Ghana card to be used. But NIA was also saying that they have done about almost 18 million, so it could be used. So it was go, but officially it was not laid before Parliament. But
of course, the document went to it was in the pre-laying stage.
Exactly.
Will you formally now withdraw it?
When it has not been laid, it means that more or less it is not in Parliament. It is when it is officially laid.
They call it the pre-laying stage.
Yes.
So that's why it
yes.
actually was on the floor, debating, etc. before it came forward.
Pre-laying, so it has not been laid.
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm asking. I mean, but you made an effort
yes.
to get it there. Would there be a formal, say, withdrawal of this?
I don't know how it will be handled because most of these things we need the lawyers to advise. But my understanding is that once you have gone to the pre-laying stage, it has not been officially been recognized in Parliament. That's why it has not been laid. It is when it is laid that you start doing the counting.
And we're going to take a quick break because that is a subject that we need to interrogate a bit more. So has the Electoral Commission completely abandoned this desire to make the Ghana card the sole document for voter registration, or will it be introduced sometime down the line in this process of elections, maybe 2028? We'll get clarity when it comes to that. Stay with me on PM Express. So you're still on PM Express, and my guest is the Director of Electoral Services at the Electoral Commission. We are talking about election 2024, December 7th, not November. So there is a lot happening at the Electoral Commission to get us ready for the big polls. It's going to be crucial. A lot is depending on that. Just before the break, we're talking about a major change to the electoral laws of this country to allow for voters who want to register to come with only the Ghana card. But the Electoral Commission says that is something that they're no longer going to pursue. Dr. Quick, we need to clarity on that. So on this particular subject, you have completely abandoned it, have you?
For now, for 2024, yes.
So let's call it a suspension, is it? It's not a complete withdrawal.
No, see, anybody in the commission who appreciates the system will want us to roll out the control registration. And the control registration is tangent on the use of the Ghana card because of it being done at the district offices. You will not have people always coming there to observe and challenge, and that's why. So anytime that Ghanaians are satisfied that a lot of the Ghana card has been produced and almost everybody has gotten it, it will be rolled out because that is what we will be happy rolling out with the continuous registration. So for 2024, it will not, but it's not dead. I believe that at the appropriate time when everybody is convinced, now everybody agrees that almost everybody has Ghana card, so everybody can vouch or can show it as evidence of citizenship, then it can be brought back. But for 2024, it is not part of the discussion. So
its revival is dependent on how saturated we get with the Ghana card circulation.
Exactly.
And at which point would this be? I mean, you've been in touch with the NIA. You're not sure yet.
Now our focus is on 2024.
Okay.
So let's go to 2024. If after 2024 everybody is satisfied that we have enough NIA card to use, then we can be having discussions.
So on this subject, you have nothing to do with Parliament again on this? Because I know this year there was a thinking that Parliament will resume, you possibly will go back and make the argument.
It is no more an issue.
But what that means is that the guarantor system still remains. Your concerns with the system is well advertised.
Yes.
You believe it is not foolproof. It actually lent itself to compromising the electoral process. Has that view changed?
No, if you were at the IPAC meeting, after the chairperson has informed the meeting that we are no more going to pursue the Ghana card issue, and then we are going to use the existing CI 91 as amended 126. He informed the people that we will also plead with them that we want Ghanaians to register. We want people who are 18 years to register. If you look at Article 42, he said that Ghanaians 18 years and above. So if you are going to vouch for somebody, you should be sure that the person is 18 years and the person is a Ghanaian. If you do something contrary, you can be prosecuted.
Which is something we've always said. But as you know, you were experienced in this particular process of elections. That is not the reality on the ground, is it? You've always appealed to the parties, but this always happens. The reason why I wanted to change it. Where does that leave you in terms of your confidence going to another major election?
We are discussing with the political parties. The commission has not taken a stand on what to do, but we should also not lose sight of the fact that it is not the Electoral Commission alone who can implement the law. So you yourself, if you know somebody who guarantees for somebody who is not qualified, you can also report it to the police for prosecution. So I believe that at a point in time, the commission will have to take a decision with respect to how to handle those who intentionally disregard the law and guarantee for people who are not 18 years and guarantee for people who are not Ghanaians. So I think at the right time, the commission will have to take a decision. And Ghanaians will have to take a decision.
On that, the governing New Patriotic Party, they've been heavily in favor of scrapping the guarantor system. Weren't they opposed to this, abandoning this whole thing midway when you spent a lot of energy and resources on it already?
For the meeting, as I said, nobody raised any objection. Because you know, we all want to have peaceful election. So anything that can help us to have the peaceful election, we will need. But having peaceful election does not mean that we should destroy our register by bringing in people who are not qualified. So I believe there will be a commitment from the political parties so that all of us will contribute, including you, myself, everybody, so that we ensure that the right things are done and we don't destroy the credibility of the register.
Many will see this position of the EC as very refreshing, because ECs, and you are the right person to talk to. You've seen many EC bosses and administrations, many chairpersons over the period. You've worked in administration for more than 30 years.
No, 30 years next year.
Well, next year, okay. So almost 30 years now, yeah, shy. So you've seen all the ECs. And one fundamental trait of every EC I've seen is their insistence on what they decided to do. But Afarijan was like that. He was criticized for it. But when Afarijan decides I want to do something, he will do it, regardless of what the controversy will be. We had Charlotte Osei, who was also the same criticized. The current chair has also been criticized in the past, but stood their ground. What really is at the heart of this new posture of the Electoral Commission? For things that you fought tooth and nail for, just a short few months back, that you completely abandoned every one of them, and in the interest, as you said at the beginning, of we just want your peace of mind. What is it? What is influencing this change of mood and tone?
The issue is that the elections in Ghana is not for the Electoral Commission. It is a collaborative type of thing. Afarijan used to hammer on that election is collective responsibility. The Electoral Commission has a role. The media has a role. The voter has a role. The political party has a role. The candidates have their roles. The legal system has their role. The security, they all have their roles. So when you come out with an issue and it's rather dividing the country and the rest, then the next thing is to appeal to the conscience of people that now, knowing that we are not getting what we are looking for, but we should all be committed to the cause of the registers and other things. So now, okay, let's stop and see what happens. And you remember that when we were doing the militarization in 2023, there were a lot of complaints. And I think I remember even I showed you some of the videos. I don't know what happened. And so let us all be committed to it. That's what I can say.
So fundamentally, EC's posture on these matters has changed. Now you're in a position where you're willing to cede.
I see we are not so happy allowing the system we know has its own challenges going on. But if that is what will give us peaceful elections, why not? Maybe everybody is going to have a change of mind, so that bring the guarantee system, but we ensure that it is not abused. That's what.
But to be fair, Dr. Sribokweku, it's only the NDC and MPP that have been disagreeing. I doubt if they represent the entire country of 30+ million people.
That's why I said that you, the media, because some of the media people were also fighting us.
Oh, we were simply reporting. The conflict between the NDC and the MPP.
It depends on. I'm not saying you.
Yes, I know.
I know
the media.
You know, there are some media houses. I find it even now difficult to grant interview.
Yeah.
Because as if you are their enemy. So read that. Instead, if you want to call you want to do education, but they have taken entrenched position. So whatever you say is not what they are listening. So there was a time I remember I told one of the media person, I said, if you know what the case is, why did you call me? Because I believe that you call me for me to do education for not you alone, for Kenyans. But here's cases like focus, go left. No way will allow you to go right. So they will not allow me to give my view. So I just sat there and said that, next, how can I educate? Because when I go on any platform, I know that it's my responsibility to educate Kenyans. So if you know what you want to, allow me to do my education. So that people will now listen to my explanation and your explanation, then they will take a decision. But the way it is that I have taken the decision, you should also come to my point of decision. It becomes difficult for. So some media houses were also fighting us.
Yeah, I mean, but I need to ask you directly. Fundamentally, let's go to the things that you've given up. No more Ghana card as a sole document for registration. No more push to have indelible ink scrapped. And also, as we've been discussing, the elections will no longer be held in November, something that you wanted to. All three key issues are issues that the NDC were opposed to. You've bowed to the NDC pressure, have you not?
No.
This is because of the NDC.
If we were to go to the NDC, I think the other parties would have objected to the decision not to go ahead. So, you see, don't think that it is only one party that can abuse the system. You understand? So everybody has a way of going around things. But our responsibility is to stop anybody from abusing it. So it does not necessarily mean that it's only one political party that can abuse it.
But all the three things you've abandoned, these are things that the NDC was the loudest opponent to them. And now that you've given up, it just begs that question. This is the Electoral Commission bending backwards because of an opposition party's resistance.
I would say that, I don't know whether you were listening to other views and narrative. Clearly, I wouldn't want to be mentioned, but in Parliament, some big people within the MPP and the rest were also raising issues about it. Because the focus was that NIA has not done enough. And when we did the committee of the whole, what do you call it? Do I say the decision or the report? Clearly indicated that it was not only NDC that was against some of the decisions. So for them, that's not saying. If once we told them, almost everybody was happy with it. If that is what will bring us to a peaceful elections, let us all follow that and let us all play our various roles, so that when the die is cast, whether there is a credible election which is incontrovertible, election that nobody raised an objection, then we move forward.
I mean, this new posture, is it just for 2024? We're going to see EC back fighting and standing its ground, asserting its independence in the face of all manner of
I don't know whether you will be happy for us to be fighting the political parties.
Oh no, it's sometimes not even on the politics. Sometimes even civil society will criticize you too,
yes.
and you still will stand your ground.
Yes, so that's why I don't want us to be talking about one particular party.
I'm expanding it now. I mean, so this new posture of the Electoral Commission, and I'm saying this because you and I know we've covered the election for so long. It's so different, this articulation you're putting forth before me right now. So I'm just wondering, is it a 9-day wonder, a flash in the pan, or something that it's now come to stay?
Even what surprises me is that when we're being by here and there, the way you are so hard on why everybody, I didn't hear you supporting that. So that's one thing I read, it's a collective responsibility. We were expecting some of you, the media persons that have also visited other countries and observed election to also say, oh, I think this could be done. But you see, the main focus of the Ghana card issue is that we all agree that NIA has not been able to meet the standard that was expected.
That one is obvious. But even there, I remember there was EC was very confident.
No, because there was assurance.
Yes, exactly.
And we always say that once NIA has given a promise, we have no doubt no cause to doubt their ability to perform. So that was our intent. But now we all agree that that assurance could not be 100% fulfilled. So in that case, let's leave that one.
But that's just one. I mean, but more fundamentally, the Guarantor system. I remember the last registration, the videos you sent me of obvious minors were in the queue to register. I know the police, you brought the police into this. Have they, for example, even updated you on where they are with investigations to try and nail these people that you elected them to?
I understand they are still investigating. So for now, I'm not sure of. I know some people were arrested.
Yes.
And some people were even jailed.
Yes.
So there was some form of arrest and prosecution successfully. But some too, they are still on the processes.
Yeah.
But like I said, the most important thing is that all of us should commit ourselves to the cause of the elections to ensure that minors will not be determining who should be our leaders, and foreigners should not be people who should be determining our leaders. So we want Ghanaians who are 18 years adults to go and vote and choose our leaders.
Yes, and talking about, let's look at the big picture. Since 1992, every election year, we've advanced the quality of our process, and we've done that through reforms. In 2015, the Electoral Commission, together with stakeholders, came together and drafted a long document that bulleted key reforms that you wanted to implement over the period. In fact, the November suggestion is part of that agreement with the parties and the civil society. People forget that, but that's what you wanted to push. And this is not something that was invented in the last year. That you're not pursuing anymore. But we need to then ask the big question. What happens to all the proposed reforms then?
You know, like I said, when we met the political parties.
And I'm talking beyond the three we discussed. I'm talking about the bigger picture of all the reforms.
When we met the political parties, we came up with some of the reforms that we were talking about. And the agreement at the first meeting was that they want to go and consult the bigger party.
But they've known about these reforms since 2015.
So these questions, I believe, when you meet the political party, you can put it to them. So when they came, what they said was that they agreed to almost every proposal that we can put across, but they would want us to implement them post 2024. So when they said that, then we said, okay, we don't want the situation where going to election, it will mean as if Ghana is at the verge of war, whatever. So we said, okay, in that case, then let us all commit ourselves to allowing the existing law work.
Isn't it also because the EC started too late in an attempt to try and activate some of these reforms in an election year?
You see, the issue is that are they relevant?
They are relevant.
If they are relevant,
the parties agree they're relevant because the parties agreed to it in 2015. But it's about timing, is it not? If the Electoral Commission started earlier, maybe you would have had a bit more of support.
Don't forget, you were the one who was telling me even last year they were fighting some of the reforms. Or you know?
Yes.
So was it that also late?
Yeah, well, that's the one that you introduced to Parliament.
So the issue is not about when it was started. If you all believe that any reform is useful, we roll it out now by the end of April, the law would have been passed. So I don't think we are late. The issue is that consensus. Do we all commit ourselves to it? As of now, no, Parliament is made up of MPP and DC. So when you come out with any reforms, and both of them agree that it to be done, I can assure you, by the end of this month, we will have gotten halfway. By mid of April, we will have done that. But where you read that they are still not convinced, you are not getting the consensus, why do you continue to pursue something that will continue to divide our front? So let's share it and allow move on. But the most important is that is the implementation of the law. The current CI is not a bad CI, but only that people who are supposed to adhere to the laws are rather circumventing their principles. That's the issue. So if we all commit ourselves, that will allow even the CI 91 and 126 amended to work, CI 127 to work, I don't think there should be any issue.
And on that point, you've also emphatically stated that this year you're not introducing any legislation. In fact, you're going with this existing CI. In your experience, this is possibly the very few times when we are approaching the major elections where we are not introducing a legislation to sort of introducing a reform. But has that ever happened? Because almost every election year we would have gone with something.
No, but I joined the commission in 95. Then the CI was CI, I think CI 12. The next one was CI 72. And the CI 1 and only 3 times.
Okay, so we have done election years.
We have done 8 elections, yes. so it's not the way that we come out new.
Okay, so that's going to be maintained.
Yes.
Let's talk about the calendar.
Yes.
And this begins, I believe, with the limited voter registration exercise.
If you look at the calendar, what we came out with to the public is about 46 activities, but the calendar is about 129 activities.
I see.
But some of them are in-house activities, so we don't need to bother you with, for example, we are, right now as we speak, we are doing shortlisting, they are all captured on us here. But why should we come and tell you that we are shortlisting people? We are now preparing our BVRs, because we know we had challenges with the camera. So the vendors came and read that it was an issue with the cables.
Okay.
So opening and closing had affected the cable that linked the computer to the camera. So they are replacing them. So all these things are being done. So it's not that the Electoral Commission is just sitting there and not doing anything. We are doing a lot of things, but it's not everything that we should come and inform the public. So what went to the public is about 46 activities, but it's about 129. So a lot of things have been done and are being done before the registration will start in May. May.
But at least the first public one is a registration.
Exactly so.
And this is in May.
Yes, 7th May to 27th May.
7th May, okay.
21 days.
This is just around the corner. The other issue with that is civil society had asked you, in terms of the registration centers, to decentralize it a bit more, but you are maintaining your district offices.
So what we are saying is that, 2019 we did same. We do it at the district offices plus some selected difficult to access areas, and that's exactly what we are going to do. We discussed with them and they are okay with it. So the law enjoins us to gazette the centers. So we gazette the 268 centers plus the selected difficult to access areas for people to know.
Okay, so and for those difficult to access areas, how do you mop up? What's a plan there to give them special attention? So
what we'll do is that once we identify them, then those ones will be addressed by the mobile teams.
Okay.
So if I'm assuming I'm the district officer, I know I have about 10 difficult to access areas. I have 21 days. So I will just draw my itinerary to cover them. And those areas, the numbers will be very, very small, right? Because they are more difficult to access areas are remote areas. And we're talking of people who have 10, 18. So you read that there will be a community, people will make a lot of issues about them, but you go there, you know, you get even 10 people. Because the 18 people are not more in the rural settings. You understand? So the team will do that. Maybe you go to this village or this settlement for 2 days, then you can move to the next one. So those difficult areas will be attended to by the mobile teams.
Okay.
But the stationary ones will be at the district offices.
I'm curious though, do you already have your budget for that one already available in your account?
The budget for 2019 24 was approved.
Was approved, yes. But the release for, because this is May.
No, what you do is that no government will approve your total budget and give it to you for the money to be sitting there. So what you do is that you are going to do the registration. You go with the registration budget.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes,
is that budget been released yet? That money?
I don't think we have even applied for.
We haven't.
Because we are in March and it will be done in May, more than 1 month to go. So, but the discussion is ongoing, and I believe I don't think we'll have a problem with it. Okay. Because when you present your budget, you indicate when you need the monies, and they go by that timetable.
Okay, and you talked about doing the shortlisting, etc. So of course you have to recruit people,
exactly.
You have to train them, or as part of that.
Yes, they are all part of the budget.
Budget that you should, but you have every confidence that the money will come in time for this to be executed.
I don't think we have ever had serious problems getting our budget for activities. But operation activities are normally.
The truth also is that we've also not faced this kind of economic crisis before in a long time, and so. Times are different. Okay. Times are different. So,
but for now, we do have no cause to doubt that the money to be released. So let's put it there, and if they complain, then we know that we are not getting. But our discussions with the ministries and the rest are positive. That as and when the monies are needed, will be given.
Okay, let's talk about the relationship with the parties in terms of voting day and then the build up to it. I mean, we have the NDC. So they want to do an extra level of policing of the poll with the drones, and this really stems from a lack of mistrust, as and all, for the process itself at the polling stations.
Officially, I have not heard of it, but I read it from the papers.
Yes.
But I want you and anybody watching me to understand that polling stations are security zones. So if you want to even go there, you yourself should be accredited. So if you want to send any drones to their place, first you need to seek clearance from the Electoral Commission. Also you need clearance from the security services. Even I believe that if you are going to vote, cast your ballot, you go into the screens and you raise up your head and you see drones hovering around your head. I don't know how you will feel. You'll be voting in secret. It is in our constitution. So I wouldn't want anybody to bring a drone on my head to see what I'm doing. So officially, it has not come up. If they actually intend doing it, it will come to IPAC because they will have to officially write to the commission. So let it come there and we see what will be done. But I don't think that I don't know who said it. So no, there are instances in the frenzy of somebody can make a statement when the person has no even power to come out with a policy. So I have not heard it. Officially, it has not been ready to the commission, so I wouldn't want to go into details. But if it is true that they want to do it, then they will have to seek clearance from the Electoral Commission. They will have to seek clearance from the security services before.
Talking about voting centers, the 2020 elections, one of the biggest challenges that process faced was the collation at the collation centers, and we saw a lot of the chaos that we saw at the collation centers. And there was a view that after the 2020 elections, the EC should take a closer view, look at the collation process to streamline it and make it less controversial. Where do you stand on that as we approach December 7th?
I don't know whether you follow the two by-elections that we did. The two by-elections, we did the manual and also used the electronic, and the parties were involved were projecting the results. So I believe that was what we asked our officers to do in 2020. But I don't know whether all of them were able to do. But 2024 will be insisting.
So how does that work exactly?
So what it mean is that if I'm the return officer, I will be doing my normal manual collation that you know. Then you'll be picked as a collation officer. So when the results come, you'll be keying in and be projecting. So people who are sitting there will be seeing that these results have come and this is how it is being added. So that when there are any discrepancy in the rest, all of us will.
So two people doing.
Not two people. For the previous one, they were about three. The return officers are three. They also do that, but we want to.
And this manual and the digital will happen at
the law accommodate the manual, but we will do that one as a compliment.
Okay.
So that people will be seeing.
But this for transparency measure.
Exactly. So people will be. That's what if you follow the Kumewu by-election and Assembly of election, that's what.
So in other words, what we have done in the past was to do the collation and the tabulations manually, and then we would come and announce it. That's what we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's what is counting.
That's what is counting.
Yes.
And then you put it together, and then when it. But what you're saying is that ours is being tallied as the polling stations come into the collation center, and it's being tallied. You are seeing it in real time.
Exactly.
Okay. So you possibly don't even need to wait to see the man, coming to you know. And to be fair, this is what happens at the Electoral Commission headquarters.
Yes.
When we
and that was what's supposed to be done at the districts. But for now, where you see, I don't know. Ghanaians, we should all have confidence in ourselves and our structures. Because somebody will just go and make one statement and people will be charged without knowing the essence of or the relevance of that statement, whether it is true or false. That's why I said it should be a collective responsibility. Because I believe that if you all believe in the systems, the parties are at the polling stations. When results are declared, they're supposed to pick their copies. We expect that as our officers are bringing our copies to our returning officers at the collation center, we expect that the parties will be sending theirs to their executives at the collation center. The party has reps at the constituency collation centers. So when we are doing the collation, we are expecting that they will also be doing parallel collation. So that when we are making any mistakes, if any, they will know this figure, according to my statistics, my results, this is 80, not 81. Then we all look at it and rectify. But I believe that is what is done. That's why normally you don't hear people who were part of the system complaining. But those who will be complaining are people who were not polling station at all or at the collation centers at all. But when they make their statement, even those who were at the collation center will begin to doubt whether the what was collected and given them was, and when even they have accepted the result and signed. So it's an issue of commitment and trust. Because if somebody says he will not trust you, I will tell you what you are wearing is yellow. Clearly, I'm not colorblind, but I say yellow, and you yourself will begin to, am I wearing yellow shirt? And that's exactly at times what happens. So we will do whatever we have to do to ensure transparency, because the process is, as I said, from polling station to the constituency collation center, to the regional collation center, to the national collation center. People who are representing the candidates are with us. When the results come, we give them the copies, right? So they themselves, and they come with their laptops and the rest. So if you're officially not tabulating and focusing it, casting it onto the screen and the rest, you have the figures. You can also and we announce the figures as we collect them. So to me, that's what I mean. When people are complaining, it has been so many. I just relax, because at the end of the day, let's put the figures down. And incidentally, nobody has ever challenged the actual figures. So they say, oh, the election has been rigged. But nobody will tell you that when I did my computation, it was 15 and they have declared 25. We have never heard of that before.
Yeah, I mean, but of course, the 2020 elections, we saw some discrepancies in the EC's own
yes,
that you had to
but they did after the result? It didn't.
Yeah. So, but in this new approach of introducing another layer of transparency, we
did that in 2022. We did in 2016.
The projection at the collation centers, except that it wasn't everywhere.
Well,
it wasn't everywhere.
We gave them the facilities to do it.
Yeah. So all 275 collation centers will have projectors.
Yes.
To put it there whilst you do the manual, that will also be up there. And finally, what is the plan to? Of course, you work with the parties at the IPAC level.
Yes.
But beyond the parties, you also work with other stakeholders, civil society, etc. Peace Council is very important. The police is also very important. What's the collaboration there?
No, we do a lot of engagement with the police. As for the police, we have the election task force.
Yeah.
And by law, it is the police who is supposed to handle all the security activities. But because of their numbers, they fall on their sister organization to us. So whenever there's going to be election, we will have the election security task force. We hold a lot of meetings. We brief them of what we want to do and the rest. Then the other stakeholders. If you look at the current timetable, you see a lot of engagements, including you, the media, and the rest. So we'll be doing that, and we hope the issue is that no matter how many times you engage the people, if the person says that he doesn't want to see, no matter.
And this year, what's your time frame for declaring the results after the polls on December 7th?
If you look at the program, we are saying that within 72 hours we should have declared. Within, mean that it could be declared 24 hours, it could be declared 48 hours, it could be 72 hours.
So you're talking about
but it depends
3 days.
It also depends on collaboration or support. Because if you look at the 2020, because we said 24 hours, there were unnecessary requests for recount, unnecessary requests for recollation, because we believe some people didn't want us to meet our target. So it depends on but we are of the view that within 72 hours, the results should be out.
Okay. And that there is Dr. Siribo Kweku, who is the Director of Electoral Services. So within 72 hours, you can expect the EC's declared results. But as you know, on your election headquarters, we'll do it before that. Thank you very much.
You will not declare results.
No, we won't. We'll do a projection. We'll do a projection and wait for your declaration. Enjoy the rest of your evening. PMX is always brought to you by Syntex Tanks, also brought to you by Pep Student, Alomo Bitters, and the Ghana AIDS Commission.